It has happened. The federal government is in a partial shutdown. Good evening. I'm Matt Locker. Logan Crawford has the night off. Here's a look at the stories making news right now. The finger pointing continues on the first day of the government shutdown. Republicans are insisting on changes to the Affordable Health Care Act as a condition for funding restoration. Good evening. It is a first in 17 years. The U.S. government is partially shut down. Nearly 1 million people are off the job as of today. And there's little hope that lawmakers are any closer to a solution tonight. Ebru's Kyle Schmoyer is in Washington, D.C. with the latest. Kyle, what is going on down there? Kyle, haven't been in the nation's capital many times before. Do you notice a difference around D.C. today with people not working and places closed because of the shutdown?
Matt?
Kyle, thank you very much, reporting live from the nation's capital. Continuing with this story, President Barack Obama says House Republicans have shut down the federal government over an ideological crusade against his health care law. The nation's largest city is feeling the effects of the government shutdown. Federal buildings in New York City, national parks, and even the Statue of Liberty are closed. Ebru's news correspondent Derek Dennis spent the day looking at what's open and what's not. He's live right now overlooking Lady Liberty with the latest. Derek. Turning now to news around the globe, an advanced team of international inspectors has arrived in Syria to oversee the dismantling of that country's chemical weapons arsenal. 20 inspectors crossed into Damascus from neighboring Lebanon on Tuesday. The inspectors have about 9 months to complete their mission. They're supposed to find, dismantle, and eliminate the arsenal, which is estimated at 1,000 tons. The investigators belong to a chemical weapons watchdog agency, which is based in the Netherlands. Even as Syrian rebels continue to battle government forces across the country, dozens of children have returned to one school, desperately seeking normalcy in times of war. Kenya's president vowed on Tuesday to keep the country's troops in Somalia until that country is stabilized. President Kenyatta spoke at a prayer service just days after a Somali extremist group staged a deadly attack on an upscale Nairobi mall. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country will not allow Iran to develop nuclear weapons, even if his country stands it alone.
Israel will never act itself.
In his address to the UN General Assembly Tuesday, Netanyahu urged the international community to keep sanctions on Iran. He called the Iranian president's latest charm offensive a ruse to get rid of sanctions as the country develops a nuclear weapon. The Israeli leader said all Iranian presidents serve the same unforgiving regime where the supreme leader dictates. He also accused Iran of propping up a Syrian regime that massacres its own people. Amazon.com says it's hiring 70,000 full-time seasonal workers around the United States to fill orders during this holiday season. It's an experiment that's out of this world. Researchers in the Netherlands are testing whether or not plants, which we take for granted on Earth, could also be grown on Mars and the Moon. And that is our broadcast for this evening. We leave you now with the closing numbers on Wall Street. For all of us here at Ebru News, have a pleasant evening and good night.